Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is the Caddy Cash Show for NFL Week 9. Jeff Cadillac is joining us, as always, via Skype. We'll see what his reaction is to his results last week, which were, not what he would have hoped for, I'm sure. Jeff Cadillac, thanks for being back with us.
Thank you for having me, Peter. I'll tell you something. It was a rough week out there, a rough week. It was a combination, Napoleon's Waterloo, the Alamo, and Custard's Last Stand. And I'll tell you, I wasn't on the good side.
Look, everyone was on the opposite. Everyone was on Indianapolis except for Big Al McMurdy from BigAl.com, whose Pittsburgh was one of his top plays of the week. Look, even if you're a 60% handicapper, you're going to have stretches of 5 games where you go 0-5, although you're not going to have too many. If you're a coin flipping handicapper, you're going to have considerably more stretches where you go 0-5. So what's your analysis here? Do you think you're like a 55% handicapper who just got really unlucky, or do you think you're a coin flipper who got just a little bit unlucky but not super unlucky?
Well, I'll tell you something. After last week, a buddy said to me, Jeff, you're supposed to be the football guru. I said, after last weekend, I'm not even ragu, okay? I'm telling you, it was a rough weekend out there. It was a rough weekend.
All right, Jeff Cadillac already planning his segue into the next career. A little bit of sports betting comedy here. All right, yeah, I hear you, Jeff Cadillac. All right, so, you're 19, 20, and 1 against the spread overall on the year, which is, you still have, look, if you kick ass for 2 or 3 weeks in a row, this last week will be a complete memory. It'll be seen as an aberration. Everyone will be beside themselves with admiration for you being 60%. But you got to do it. If you don't do it, people are going to start thinking this is the old Jeff Cadillac we were expecting at the beginning of the year. We're trying to answer the question, can Caddy cash? What do you think the answer is going to be at the end of the year, Jeff?
Well, the answer is going to be that I'm going to be right at the top of the ratings by the end of the season.
Okay, right at the top of the ratings. Yeah, okay. A non-answer answer from JeffCadillac.com. All right, Jeff Cadillac. Well, NFL Week 9, the lines are out. I got all the widely available numbers here. 2 games that don't have widely available numbers yet, but we'll see what you like. What's your first game for us this week, Jeff Cadillac?
Okay, coming at you for the first game of Week 9 in the NFL. And you can always catch all my picks on JeffCadillac.com and my best bet on Fridays on Twitter at JeffCadillac1. But the first game of the week this week is Philadelphia at Houston.
Okay, widely available number right now is Houston +2. Kind of a game that I'm probably going to stay away from. A lot of games this week I'm staying away from. That's definitely one of them. What do you like here, Jeff?
Well, I like Philadelphia on the road in a bounce back.
Okay.
Because Arizona, basically, they played a very good game. Both teams were very evenly matched. I liked Arizona last week at home, laying the 2.5. But Philadelphia, they're getting Darren Sproles back. I like that on offense. Their defense definitely is holding teams. They're playing well. Houston, on the other hand, I mean, come on. They lose against Indianapolis. They lose against Pittsburgh. Then they beat Tennessee. Big deal. Okay, they're getting on defense. Watt and Merciless, they're very good. They're supposed to be getting Jadeveon Clowney back. But one thing people are not remembering here, they have Ryan Fitzpatrick as their quarterback. I used to call him the human turnover because that's what he does. He turns the ball over. He is not a good quarterback. And Philadelphia is on a bounce back after losing at Arizona. They should score 40 points this weekend. Houston is not a good team. I like Philadelphia to go into Houston to score 40 points in this game. Houston is on the downswing. Philadelphia is looking up.
Okay, I can certainly can't come up with any strong argument against it right now. Right now, -2 is the line for Philadelphia. What's your second game, Jeff?
My second game this week is Baltimore at Pittsburgh.
Okay, that line has moved significantly. Right now, the line is Pittsburgh. Pick 'em or +1. What do you like here, Jeff?
I love Baltimore.
Okay.
Baltimore's pissed off right now because they had just come off a game where they had a last-second touchdown for the game that was taken away from them. Let me tell you something. When you have a pissed off team, and they're going to play a team that they hate to begin with, watch out. Because Baltimore is on the tear right here. Pittsburgh last week, we all know Ben Roethlisberger had the game of his life. It turned into a game where Luck started looking like he was a rookie, a real rookie, like almost a Division II kind of quarterback out there, because he threw a pick 6. He fell down in the end zone with, intentionally grounding. I mean, he gave this game to Pittsburgh, and everybody liked Indianapolis, and they thought they were going to move forward. But Pittsburgh is not that good of a team. I read them. Their defense is old. Baltimore is going to go straight at them. They see them twice a year. I love Pittsburgh to destroy. I love Baltimore to destroy Pittsburgh because not only that, but in this rivalry between these two teams, the road team seems to be winning more often than not. I think the last time I checked out of the last 13 or 14 games, it was like 9-3-1. The road team, take the pick 'em. It's beautiful. Baltimore all the way.
All right, yeah, it is beautiful. The road team in this matchup. Hey, I have heard other sharp opinions giving that opinion as well, like in Baltimore here. This might be a very sharp pick, Jeff Cadillac. I think I might be agreeing with it a lot by the time kickoff comes around. All right, what's your next game for us?
Okay, the next game here, a lot of people are probably going to be watching this game, but I love Denver at New England.
Well, right now, New England is +3, and I'm kind of thinking that maybe Denver's a side here. What do you like here, Jeff?
Well, you know what? I actually discussed this game with a few people that are sort of football savvy and everything, and everybody kept coming back to me with the same answer. And I'll tell you something. You give Brady points at home, he's the man. He is 7-1 as an underdog at home in his career. The only loss being in 2004 or 2005 against Indianapolis with, of course, Peyton Manning. So I'll tell you something. He gets revved up. He gets ready to go. He's got that team playing very well. I mean, granted, last week they beat Chicago by a hailstorm. But I'll tell you something. You take him at home and you give him points, he doesn't like that. He gets pissed off and the team gets pissed off. And remember this. The New England Patriots have the second leading pass defense in the NFL right now, which is a very good surprise. You have Brandon Browner at the corner. You have Darrelle Revis at the other corner. You got Patrick Chung in the back there. They're really holding. Now, you put pressure on Manning, as like Seattle did in the Super Bowl, you see what happens. Now, the pass defense, we'll see. The run defense for New England is shaky, and that's what I'm a little worried about. But I think it's going to be a very close game. Denver is playing very well. We all know that. They made some improvements from last year because they certainly don't want to go to the Super Bowl again and, lose the way they did. But New England is on all cylinders. They had a little hiccup. They almost lost against the Jets a couple of weeks ago. But you know what? Against Denver, Brady is 10-5 against Manning all time. I think he wins this game outright. I like it. Take New England. Take the points at home.
All right, Jeff. Well, I previewed this game with two professional handicappers. They both like Denver here at -3, and I was kind of leaning that way myself. But, hey, look, maybe we're all wrong, and you're right. For sure, it's going to be an interesting matchup. And, yeah, fading Brady and Belichick at any time is always a scary proposition to do as a home dog. It's extremely scary to do. Reminds me of the LSU as a home dog game in college football last week. All right, what's your fourth game for us, Jeff Cadillac?
Okay, this fourth game is another bounce-back team. Indianapolis Colts at the Giants on Monday night.
Giants +3 or 3.5, home dog. What do you like here, Jeff?
I like Indianapolis to bounce back.
Okay.
You got Luck. He's like 11-1 after a loss straight up. He's 10-1-1 against the spread after a loss. I think he recoups from his loss at Pittsburgh, which everybody was devastated about, including me. And I think he goes at them. Plus, two people you have to remember that are coming back to the Giants for to MetLife Stadium for the first time. Hakeem Nicks and Ahmad Bradshaw that were basically discarded by the Giants. And Ahmad Bradshaw, even if he has two broken legs, he's going to play in this game. You know he wants to come back to the Giants and run for at least 100 yards. And I see him and Hakeem Nicks, and they're pumped up. Indianapolis is going to look to bounce back. I mean, the Giants, who have they beaten this year that they're on a roll? They beat Houston, Washington, Atlanta. I mean, come on. Those teams are terrible, okay? Giants secondary is suspect. Luck is going to pick them apart, okay? He's got his wide receivers on the ends. He's got Ahmad Bradshaw in the background there. Let me tell you something. Pressure is going to be put on Eli Manning. Colts are going to win. Lay the points Monday night.
Giants off a bye, home underdog. Interesting handicapping situation. We will see. All right, and what's your fifth and final game for us this week, Jeff?
My fifth and final game is St. Louis at San Francisco.
All right, well, San Francisco is a 10-point home favorite right now, and when this line came out on the opener, I saw 9. You know, San Francisco is off a bye. St. Louis not gaining a lot of yards on offense, and they're banged up. So I took San Francisco. I bet it down at -7, -143. At -10, I think I'd still make them a pick. Would I make it a bet? Sure, maybe pretty small, but I think I'd still take San Francisco. I'm sure you like San Francisco here, Jeff. I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree with you too, Peter. That's good because San Francisco right now, they own the Rams, okay?
Okay.
In the last 3 games, it hasn't even been a contest. They've not only beaten them, they've covered the spread. And coming home to San Francisco, you know, okay, the Rams had their great game against Seattle, which I picked right here for you on SBR. But that was their highlight of their season. They can play Seattle a certain way, but San Francisco owns them. When they played a couple of weeks ago in St. Louis, I mean, you know, they gave them a 14-0 head start. The Rams got a 14-0 head start. They turned around, they lost 31-17. It wasn't a close game after that. San Francisco at home, they need a blowout game. They have not had one of those blowout games yet this season, and I think this is where they put it together. Not only that, on defense, you got coming back. You got Aldon Smith coming back. You got Patrick Willis coming back. You also have Navarro Bowman right around the corner. I mean, these are very important pieces of the San Francisco defense. When they are making their push for the playoffs and they have a full defense that's ready to go, let me tell you something, NFL, watch out, because San Francisco is going to be on a roll. And those are the pieces that brought them to the promised land last year. So I definitely like laying the points here. San Francisco all the way at home against St. Louis.
Jeff Cadillac from jeffcadillac.com, coming off a week 0-5. This week, you could go 5-0, and then we're right back in business 100%. Jeff Cadillac, thanks so much. Talk to you next week.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.